I think Dave can put this away. Ireland are through to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. He steps up into the back of the net. Oh, yeah! Rome, here we come.
And it's Ireland's day. Yeah! 61 years of waiting. How sweet this moment is.
Not easy. Onto it comes Houghton. And Houghton with a shot. And it's there.
This is 92.5 Phoenix FM. I'm Gary Stewart.
And I'm Chris Melia.
And this is NSC Live, your weekly sports show from the National Sports Campus, Blanchardstown.
So, this week coming up, our focus on sport is hockey, and we'll also have an interview with Thomas Barr.
So, Chris, good week this week. Any highlights for us?
Yeah, the show's not long enough for the amount of sports highlights this week. Don't know where to start, really. Suppose Dublin beating Monaghan in the All-Ireland quarter-final B1.
It was a good game, yeah. I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, it was a good game for the first 20 minutes, and the rest was...
I was going to say, I watched the first few minutes and I thought, Monaghan have got their number a bit. This could be good. But the Dubs came through.
Turned the screw, as they say.
Anything else happening?
Yeah, well, again, Raheny United getting into the last 32 of the Women's Champions League.
All right, okay,
yeah,
excellent.
My own hometown as well, so that's fantastic.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
So. I play cricket with one of the players, Mary. She, I think she plays centre forward. She's also, not only does she play centre forward for Raheny United, she's also captain of the Ireland ladies cricket team as well.
Cricket team.
Yeah, so multi-sport,
There you go.
Pretty impressive.
All rounders out in Raheny. Also, what else? We got the Irish ladies rugby team. Well, you might have a go with this one. Getting into a semi-final.
Yeah, well, I watched that as well. Yeah, I must say it was a good game to watch. I was pretty impressed with both teams. Good performance.
We leave it at that.
Well, I'm going to keep quiet because you won the last one, didn't you? So
Yeah, that's it. And again, we can't go without mentioning Rory McIlroy, world's #1 golfer.
Yeah, back to the top. He's looking good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's great stuff, So yeah, that's pretty much the week.
Super. Myself personally, no sports. Still out. The thumb saga continues yet again. Surgery last Friday, and I think I'm just going to write off my sports career. That's it. I'm done.
That's it, is it?
Well, maybe take up, I don't know, hiking, perhaps. Maybe.
Yeah,
I went out for a walk and quite enjoyed it mildly.
Left-handed darts, or?
Left-handed darts, yeah. Well, I'm writing like a 3-year-old at the moment, so I don't think, if my writing's not good, I don't think my darts will be any good, unfortunately.
Still better than mine all the time.
Yeah, probably. So on this week's show, we are joined by Fiona Mills, who is let me get this right, it's a fancy job title now, the Strategic Development Director of the Irish Hockey Association.
That's the one, yep.
Welcome,
That's
Fiona.
Me. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me along today.
No problem. Have you got any sporting highlights from this week?
Oh, I'd have to say, for me, definitely it was seeing the women qualify and get into that semi-final spot.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it didn't work out on the night, but I think for a sport such as hockey, which is predominantly a female sport, it is just absolutely amazing to see a women's team doing so well, getting the level of coverage, getting the level of support that they got. Like, it was absolutely incredible. The entire country got behind them. So that would have been my highlight.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, since kind of, I suppose, I don't know, I might be wrong here, but since Katie Taylor's gold, I haven't really seen an Irish female sports person on the front page of all the newspapers like they were when they beat the All Blacks,
Yeah,
so that's
it was.
got to be a positive thing.
It was incredible.
Definitely. So tell us a little bit about your role within Irish hockey. What does your job entail?
Yeah, I'm part of the development team at Irish Hockey, and our job is basically to get more people playing. So picking up a stick and falling in love with the sport, I suppose, as much as we're all in love with the sport.
Yeah.
So we do a huge amount of work in our current hockey clubs. There's about 145 clubs all over Ireland, and we do a huge amount of work in secondary schools and primary schools as well.
Excellent.
So we're out at the coalface. It's great. It's great fun.
And so what's kind of like the club scene like in and around the Dublin area? Is there many clubs in this part of town?
Yeah, well, there's a really vibrant club set up in Dublin. I think more locally, we're delighted to see St Brendan's Phoenix Park are just about to take up residency in the National Sports Campus, so that's really exciting. So that would be the main local club. But there's a number of secondary schools playing in the area as well, like Mount Sackville and Castleknock, Dominican College up on the Navan Road. So plenty of hockey taking place in the Dublin 15 area.
Superb.
Yeah, great. And you mentioned the sports campus there, and we have a wonderful hockey surface up there. How do you find the campus since it's rolled out?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, to see just the setup that St Brendan's Phoenix Park are going to have is just absolutely brilliant, from the pitch to the pavilion beside it to the changing room facilities. Unfortunately, that's not typical of hockey, so it's brilliant to see one of the hockey clubs going into the National Sports Campus.
Super. A bit of a shameless plug here coming. If there's any hockey clubs out there listening, give me a call, Gary Stewart, on 0164 64 330. Any hockey clubs out there, we still have plenty of room on our hockey facility, on our hockey pitch. More clubs, more people, the better using. That's kind of the message. So, if you want to use it for training, if you want to use it for matches, certainly give us a shout.
Quality pitch as well. Have you any feedback from the lads that have used the Fiona, the surface we have up there?
Yeah, well, actually, I've had an opportunity to knock a ball around on the pitch. We had our quick hockey launch up in the National Sports Campus about 2 months ago, and feedback from the kids playing on the day was really, really positive. We had some of our international players out on the pitch, so again, they spoke really positively about it as well. So thumbs up all around. Fair dues to you guys.
Cheers
up in the
for
National
that.
Sports Campus.
Thumbs up. Cheers. Appreciate that, Fiona. Kind of speaking, I'm going to link back to our summer camps here. No, we have hockey as part of our camp programme, and Irish Hockey Association have been fantastic in supporting that initiative. Ali Meek, is it? She was up coaching, one of the international players was up a couple of weeks ago coaching on our programme. Great to see the international kind of players engaging with the community and young people kind of at the beginning of their hockey careers as well.
Yeah, which is something that I think not only do the players lead themselves, but we really encourage as an association as well. I mean, it is fantastic to see your international players out on a pitch interacting with kids.
Yeah.
I mean, and ultimately, players like Ali Meek are role models to hockey players all over the country.
Yeah.
And what's better than stepping out on a pitch to be coached by one of your role models? So it's fantastic.
Or when I was doing like the coach introductions in the morning, like I was like, in this, we need a big round of applause. We've got an international player, and the kids, like, the faces just kind of lit up and their eyes like unbelievable that they'd have an international there sharing their experiences and talking about what it's like to go to world championships or different parts of the world kind of competing for Ireland. So it was great to see.
Yeah, it's great. I remember my first experience of hockey. I think it was going back 21 years ago. I think it was the European Championships out in UCD at the time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the tournament was, but I remember watching the women's game, and ever since then I've started to associate hockey with women. But is it predominantly women, or would it be a balanced sport? Or
it's played by both men and women, but in Ireland it is predominantly a female sport. We work off of about 2/3 women for a third male players. But when you look at our international setup, for example, the two teams are both ranked 15 in the world.
Right.
And when you consider there's 12 teams competing in each Olympic cycle, I mean, we're seriously knocking on the door both squads to qualify for the Olympics. And actually looking at some of the recent results that the two sides have had, we're well on our way for Olympic qualification for Rio 2016, and that's one of the big things that we're working towards at the moment.
Excellent. So it links back to what we talked about before. Just getting to the Olympics, the coverage and things like that can only help promote the sport at the grassroots level as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this would probably be a good opportunity to mention one of the sides that our men recently beat was England. So we beat them 2-1. So
hanging up on me here.
Always a great one.
Gary, I just thought I'd throw that in for your benefit.
No problem.
But yeah, absolutely. I mean, we would see qualifying for the Olympics as having a huge impact on the grassroots side as well. Just the amount of coverage and exposure that you get from it.
And from a development and NGB point of view, the funding that will bring as well, I imagine that kind of qualifying for the Olympics has a direct impact on the funding and the grants system and things like that as well.
Absolutely. Funding, sponsorship would be another one as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's so much that goes with getting that qualifying
stage,
Olympic spot, and we came so close. Like so close to qualifying for London. I mean, it literally boiled down to the last seconds of one of the qualifying matches in UCD. We hosted the Olympic qualifying tournament for the men, and they lost in the dying seconds of the finals. So we had a glimpse snatched away from us. So, it really is all about getting to Rio.
May just make the hunger greater, Fiona.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
Excellent. So we talked a little bit there, touched on kind of like the elite end. Back to the school side of things, what kind of activities do you deliver in the school? Is the game, obviously we talked about the games like on a sand-based AstroTurf pitch outside. Do Irish hockey adapt the game for when it goes into primary schools? Is there different versions for juniors to take up?
Yeah, there is. I mentioned earlier that we launched Quick Hockey up in the National Sports Campus a couple of months ago. And Quick Hockey is our five-a-side version of the sport. And it's played with a larger, lightweight hockey ball, which means that it's easier to play. But the key thing with Quick Hockey is that you don't need a sand-based AstroTurf pitch to play. So you can play on a basketball court, a tennis court, you can play on grass. And that lends itself to going into primary schools really well. So all of a sudden you don't need a pitch to play. And that's a key part of what we do when we're working in primary schools, and we would work in a number of primary schools in the Dublin 15 area and all over the country. And we're really excited about bringing Quick Hockey to primary schools, but also to secondary schools that may not have a hockey pitch already in place.
Yeah. It's kind of similar to what we had Susan Maloney from Olympic Handball on last week, and it was a similar theme there about adapting the sport and being able to just take it anywhere. I think they had an event in Temple Bar, they said. So it's just about picking up a couple of sticks and a big ball. You can play in the park, you can play in the back street, you can kind of pick up the sticks and get going.
Absolutely, and that's one of the big things that we want to do with Quick Hockey. And whilst I've mentioned the schools, the other key objective for Quick Hockey is getting adults back into the sport as well. So we would be similar to lots of other sports. Adults, maybe as a result of demands from their career, family, time commitments, will struggle to make that commitment to club hockey, and Quick Hockey is just a much more casual way of taking part.
So it seems like you're removing the barriers to participation and knocking each one down to kind of take away not the excuse, but like I said, the barriers for people participating. It's good to see. I
guess the reality is that you need to be able to offer your sport in a form that suits people. So it's just about making tweaks and changes and adaptations to do that. We're still obviously 100% committed to our 11-a-side club game and the national setup that goes along with it. But we're making that adaptation to be that little bit flexible.
Superb.
So if I was, let's say a 24-year-old, 34-year-old guy looking to get involved back in sport, like, would it be feasible for me to get involved in hockey? So
yeah, absolutely.
With no frame of reference now. Let's say I haven't.
No, and I'm not just saying this. We've just finished our 8-week Quick Hockey Summer League, which was almost like our inaugural summer league, and we had complete beginners taking part in that. So people who had never picked up a hockey stick in their lives came down, played five-a-side hockey for 8 weeks, and the feedback has been incredibly positive. So yeah, absolutely. We'll take you on. There's absolutely no problem.
Sign me up. But
exactly.
It's really important because we often talk about the sport internationally, but participation and participation locally, I suppose, on account of the local radio station. Like it really is the grassroots of the game, and it's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the key part of my job, and it's the part of sport that I'm most passionate about. I mean, I've played hockey myself since I was 12, and I absolutely love it for the camaraderie, the fitness, the health benefit that comes along to it. Those are all of the reasons that I've picked up a stick in the first place, and I'm still playing. And I think those are all the important reasons to get people getting out and getting involved in any sort of sport. Yeah,
exactly. Just there as well, you just touched on the sports science end of it as well in the game. Like, how much is it evolving into the game now? Like, you see, anytime I go to use any SAQ resources, hockey always pops up, and the other sports we've had on always talk about the best practice and how sports science is changing it. Where is that in hockey now at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, we're working hard with the guys out in UCD. That's where we're based, and we've got the gym set up in UCD. And when I look at particularly our national team players, I mean, they're spending and committing to numbers of hours in the gym every week. It's not just about what is happening out on the pitch from, let's say, a skills or a stick skills perspective. And I think that really has changed the game over the last number of years. And I think even looking from our perspective as a governing body and trying to get that message down to the grassroots side of the game, more and more we talk about that side of things on the likes of our coach education courses, so that we're sort of driving that message from the top right down.
Great, fantastic.
So, Fiona, you're obviously work at Irish Hockey now. You're actually from the D15 area.
That's right, yeah. I grew up in Castleknock.
So
Not sure about the Dunwell bit, yeah, but working on it.
So we had a chat. I'm just going to let the listeners know. We had a chat yesterday, a bit of research, me being all professional and everything with this job. You actually studied over in the States for a little while. A little bit off topic, but we had a feature on sports education a couple of weeks ago, so we're going to kind of take it back to that a little bit. You were over in, where was it?
I was in San Diego, which was an incredible experience. Obviously, just to even live in the States for a year, let alone study. I mean, completely different from Ireland. So it was a brilliant experience. So I was over there. I completed an MBA in sports business management with the San Diego State University.
Oh wow!
So it was incredible.
Yeah,
yeah,
a good life experience as well as an educational.
Yeah, completely. I mean, like I lived on the beach for 9 months, which was just brilliant. And I should also say 9 months of sunshine.
Yeah,
that bit definitely does help, and that was one of the reasons that I chose California as my study destination. But it is such an outdoorsy lifestyle in California. Everybody is into hiking, cycling, surfing. It was I just absolutely loved it. I just got to do all sorts of like random sports like dodgeball and frisbee golf, and it was a brilliant experience.
Fantastic. How did you find the hockey scene over there?
Yeah, actually, oddly enough, the hockey scene in the States tends to be more East Coast than West Coast. So I kind of almost took a bit of a break from the sport and used it almost as an opportunity to get into other sports that, you just don't necessarily have an opportunity to do. And San Diego State University is very closely linked with the local baseball franchise, the Padres. So we would have spent an awful lot of time immersed in baseball as a sport, which again, it's so different from what we're used to here. It was brilliant.
When I was over there, it seemed like the West Coast was very much into its more traditional American sports, and the East Coast seemed to be more open to the European sports. Your soccers, even things like rugby seemed quite popular on the East Coast as well. When I mentioned hockey over there, it was always ice hockey.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have to make sure you're talking about field hockey. Otherwise, they're going to assume that you're putting on skates and
they throw your
helmet
and some shoulder pads.
Yeah, exactly.
Superb. So, thanks for popping in, Fiona. Just for our listeners, just to reiterate to them, if they're interested in hockey, if they're interested in joining a club, or they just want to try the sport, how do they go about it? Yeah,
first port of call is to head to our website, so hockey.ie. I'd also say to anybody to check us out on Facebook and Twitter. But on our homepage there is a club locator. So you can go in and you can look for clubs in your locality. That's probably the best.
That's the best for us because our listenership's worldwide. It's global now. So
excellent.
It isn't just the Dublin 15 area. So the club locator sounds like a good.
Yeah, definitely. Head to hockey.ie, Facebook and Twitter. And for anybody who wants to see a bit of hockey in action in the flesh, come on down to UCD this evening. So Ireland are playing Spain at 6:00 this evening. Excellent. So the women are playing in Three Nations at the moment with France and Spain. So they're playing over the next 8 days. So definitely, again, more details on hockey.ie. But great opportunity to see the national teams.
Yeah.
Playing.
Yeah. So, do you need tickets for that, or can you just turn up on the door?
You can turn up at the door. Adults €5, school children in for free.
Amazing.
What else would you be doing on a Friday evening?
Perfect. Good stuff. Cheers, Fiona. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks a million.
Great.
Bye.
Thanks.
Cheers.
So, hockey sounds good, Chris.
Yeah, it's great insight there from Fiona, and it's a great game as well. It's really exciting, particularly if you get to see it live.
Fast-paced, yeah.
Fast-paced, yeah. There's a lot of skill involved as well. It's quality.
Well, since I come from kind of rural countryside, so you don't get to see many sports being played at a decent level. So now I'm in the city, I kind of try and get around as much as possible. So I'll definitely be heading down to watch the hockey
Yeah,
DCU
down
the next week
yeah,
or so.
Yeah, UCD. Yeah, and it's quality price as well, €5 one.
UCD, did I say
UCD?
D? Oh, Jesus. Okay.
We've had a few of them over the weeks.
We're getting used to it now. So what? Fiona was leaving it out the door. We just grabbed her for a second, and she was saying we need a stick. What else do
We were
need?
just talking about if anyone was looking to get involved. You know, you can get a stick, you can get shin pads and a gum shield as well.
Yeah.
Would be ideal. Now, if you're going down to a club, you know, and you don't have any gear with
Just
you,
to
and
try it, yeah.
I'm sure there'll be stuff knocking around. There'll be no
Yeah.
problem there. But again, yeah, shin pads, gum shields, and a stick and a thumb pad for Gary.
Happy days, good stuff. So, what else we had on this? We've got the athletics championships on at the moment. Have you been following that, Chris?
I have, yeah, it's been fantastic. Like, we have our own Rob Heffernan walking tonight in the 50k.
All right.
So have you ever seen the walking races here?
I have. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, the technique.
Yeah, it's funny looking to a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
But it's so hard, like, you know.
I can imagine, but like the times as well. Like it's like literally, he walks like 10k and something like 42 minutes.
They just bomb along. They absolutely bomb
42
along.
minutes for 10k. I might be making that up. I'm not sure, but I think it's about that. I think I've read that
I
somewhere.
wouldn't be a million miles off. Yeah, I can't think the times off the top of my head now, but I see the guys training down the park sometimes, and they just absolutely fly. They just pass the runners.
But
recreational
the
runners.
decent, fit, standard, I don't know, man on the street wouldn't be able to run 10k in 42 minutes easily. You know, that's a good time.
Yeah, you're talking anywhere
It's
between
impressive.
45 and 50 minutes for your general, you know, in park runner for a 10k.
Yeah.
So, but
Wow.
you know, on that point, if you want to go a little bit sharper, if you looked at Joe Pavey there during the week, she ran a phenomenal 10,000 meters race. It was absolutely fantastic. She won gold there at 40 years of age. And
Yeah.
she was
Yeah, I read
absolutely
that,
wonderful
yeah.
race to see.
Oh, it's very impressive. 40 years, superb. And then we've had Thomas Bart, the hurdler, was a little bit unfortunate last night.
Thomas last night, yeah.
Just missed out, I think. And then Mark English scraped through as well to the 800 metre final.
Yeah, that's right. But we had good participation, you know, and we're kicking on all the time, so hopefully there'll be medals coming down the road soon.
Well, yeah, it seems like Ireland are getting more and more numbers in the finals, in the semi-finals of these, you know, big championships. Only a good thing, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, it's just getting closer and closer, you know, as the sport progresses. And we also have our swimmers away in European Championships.
Yeah, and the Paralympic swimmers are just back as well from Eindhoven.
That's right. We had James Scully come back with 2 bronze medals, which was great.
Excellent, yeah,
Fantastic.
good stuff. So we mentioned Thomas Bart earlier on the show. We caught up with him a couple of weeks ago down at Morton Stadium, and with the athletics championships being, you know, very relevant at the moment, we're going to play our interview from then. What's your name?
Thomas Barr,
And where are you from?
from Waterford, originally training in Limerick.
And what's your role in sport? What do you do?
I'm a 400 metre hurdler and I've been national champion the last couple of years, and I broke the Irish record there a couple of weeks ago.
Super. So is that your greatest sporting achievement?
Oh yeah, so far, yeah.
And how does winning tonight rank amongst that?
It's my second fastest time ever, so to do it at home and on a home turf in front of the whole crowd is a massive boost for me.
And to beat a world champion as well.
Yeah, that's a massive achievement. It was my second race. I had a race on Tuesday where I was up against the same kind of high class guys, but my race wasn't as good. Tonight I was much more focused, much more clean, neat race, and came out focused and managed to come home with the win.
You look delighted when you cross the line.
Completely delighted. I can imagine I'm going to get a bit of stick for that celebration, but what harm?
Super. So who'd be the greatest influence on your running career, would you say?
My running career, the biggest influence, probably just Irish athletes in general. Just like, you know, this week in the last couple of weeks we've heard of a lot of people retiring. Paul Heschel, Derval O'Rourke and David Gillick, they all retired, and I think to see them running and racing against the world's best is such an inspiration. Just seeing the green vest amongst world class competitors kind of makes it all that bit more real. You can see yourself, and then I've been away on trips with them and stuff, and just living among them and kind of, you know, learning from them it's a massive inspiration. They have a massive influence then on us and even on younger generations again. So they're kind of a driving force.
Super. Slightly trickier question. What's your biggest sporting embarrassment so far?
Biggest sporting embarrassment?
Putting you on the spot a little bit here.
Oh yeah, probably that celebration is enough.
What's your favourite sports team away from athletics?
Probably rugby, Irish rugby team. Yeah,
The national
definitely.
team,
Or Munster even.
Superb. What's your pre-race meal? What do you have before the race?
Pre-race meal. Well, Today it was a brown roll with chicken and cheese. But usually it's pasta, something carby, something little bit of protein beforehand. Yeah.
Getting near the end now. And what would be your post-race celebratory drink?
I have Vitibiotics are sponsoring me with their Wellman brand, so it's a recovery shake that they do. So we get that.
Good work, yeah.
Get
Well
that
done.
plug
Yeah.
in.
Congratulations. And finally, what's your next ambition?
Next ambition is the European Championships. I'm hoping to come home with a bit of medal.
Bit of medal.
Hopefully, yeah.
Superb. Cheers. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
So he didn't quite achieve his ambition there at the end.
No.
It was a good run though, nonetheless. It was like I said before. I've been watching it and it's great to see. So our latest feature is Connor's question. With the Premiership football starting this weekend, Connor, it's over to you.
So as you mentioned, Gary, this week's question is around the Premiership starting back this weekend. So what is your favourite, most memorable Premiership moment in the 20 years?
20 years.
Yeah, so I think me and Chris were discussing this earlier on. I think he's robbed my one, so I'll let you take it away, Chris.
Hang on. First of all, you two have been colluding amongst each other, giving him kind of advance warning. I'm not happy with that straight away. So what's yours, Chris?
My original one. No,
this is for all the ABUs, I think.
Yeah, I had to think long and hard about this, and I suppose being a Sunderland man, I had to get them in some way because there's not too many high points.
You're a Sunderland fan, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, Sunderland were playing Man United the last game of the season, and Man City were playing QPR.
Oh, yeah.
And United were pretty much winning the league. QPR were winning 2-1, I think.
2-1, yeah, it was.
At the time. And then basically just the best 5 minutes of Premiership football ever happened, finishing with a goal from Aguero in the most
I think
dramatic of finishes.
I was watching with my friends and a few good Man United supporters, hero supporters, and it was great to see their faces just drop. And I think I jumped over a chair and jumped on one of my mates at the time just like to rub it in because I'm an ABU fan, so I wouldn't
anyone but United,
So.
Well, seeing you there with the headphones on and the microphone, Connor, it's just reminded me. I'm not sure what season it was. It might have been. When could it have been? 93, 94. I'm not sure.
It would have been early,
later than that.
Maybe 94.
It wasn't the year Blackburn. It could have been 96, maybe. Kevin Keegan, Newcastle United. I love it if we beat them. And you got a bit of a look of him there. So I'm going to go with Kevin Keegan's outburst after the. I'm not even sure if Newcastle had played, if he was just they were asking him because Fergie had been getting the mind games going and winding him up.
Yeah, they were in the mix of times, a few games to go.
Yeah, that was when Fergie really, for me, that was when he proved he was the boy at the old mind games and things like that, because you could see he was right under Keegan's skin, and then Newcastle plummeted straight after that.
Yeah.
So that's for me. And then also as well, I mean, I'm not a Man United fan or anything, but I used to love it when Keane and Vieira would square up before the games. There was a scene in the tunnel, weren't there, when Keane was saying, I can't wait for you to get out there, I'll see you on the pitch and all that.
You act a nice guy, is it?
I know, that's all.
I'll see you on the pitch.
I'll see you on the pitch, yeah.
It's great to see though,
and then you're watching that on Sky Sports, and then they're going out there, you're just like, you can't wait for the game.
You just want to be in the tunnel, you just want to go out and play, don't you?
Yeah, it just builds the atmosphere. So I don't know, I think them two were probably my best moments.
So you say Kevin Keegan. I tell you what, how we'll split ours up. How we'll split ours up, Connor. You can say City winning the title under them circumstances, and I'll say the Sunderland fans doing the positing to the United fans.
As the result came in. Fair play. I went up to. I'm a Barrow fan. Now people at home, unless they're from Cumbria, we think they've never really where's that. I don't even know where it is. Never mind, they've got a football team. So we're in the Conference North at the moment. We were up at Sunderland, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, FA Cup third round game.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we were robbed. I think it was 3-0 to you. But daylight robbery.
Dubious decisions by the referee.
Stonewall penalties, the works, yeah. horrendous.
We might see them again this year in the FA Cup having a good go.
Yeah, hopefully. We've just been taken over, believe it or not. I know this is a little bit off topic, but we've been taken over by a millionaire from Dallas in Texas. So it's a little bit random.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a local guy moved over there, set up his company does big telecommunication, pylon-y things. So he owns that, and the company turns over millions a year. So he's come back, bought the club, put some money into it at last because the club was just dying. Yeah, things are looking up.
Great.
It's good to be a Bluebirds fan at the moment.
So from Premier League to Dallas, back to the National Sports Campus. Tonight we have our members' barbecue going on. So if you're around, it starts at 6 o'clock and it's up in the wonderful horse arena up there.
Yep.
So if you're not doing that else or not at the hockey in UCD, you might get down.
Yeah, if you want to bring the kids along as well, our summer camp staff will be putting on a few games for them. We'll probably have a mini staff versus parents versus kids dodgeball championship or something like that. We'll have some fun games.
Be great fun.
A couple of little prizes as well for the little ones. So yeah, if you're a member and you want to pop up, should be fun.
So that's good stuff. So that's pretty much all we have for this week's show. Next week we'll have another focus on sport coming up, another Big Ten, and some more banter with the lads.
Yep, absolutely. Have a great weekend, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Cheers. Take care.